All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sunday strategy class. How is everybody doing? Give me a 1, give me a sound check. What's up, what's up? Everybody's up on a Sunday. That's great to see. You know, you guys are dedicated. That's awesome. That is awesome. Waking up on a Sunday, usual work hours, that shows that you guys are obviously dedicated to your trading. So that is awesome. Little virtual high five from me on that. 3:30 p.m. here. Great. Well, that's okay then. Yeah, you just had your Sunday brunch and now up for the class. All right, so we're gonna get started right now. I want you guys to grab a pen and paper and have you got it? Give me a 1 if you got your pen and paper. Alright, great. Now here's what I want you to do. I want you to keep it on the side for now. We don't need it for right now. We need it later in the class. I was just checking to make sure you guys have it. Alright, so let's get started. We've got a lot to cover today. I want a couple commitments from you guys. Number 1, I want you to actually, whatever we cover here, I want you guys to actually execute after the end of the class, right? So once the class ends, you guys learn what we've taught. You guys will get the recordings. You guys will get the slideshow. So if you are recording, you don't need to record. I'm going to be sending you guys the recording of this class along with the slides, so you guys are covered for that one. And I want you guys to take this information with an open mind. There's going to be some of the things that are going to be same. There's some of the things that are going to be totally different, but the part that's going to be different is the execution part. Okay, that's going to be the different part. So there might be some stuff that you might learn in the past, but there might be variations of that stuff. But more importantly, it's the execution and the trading plan what matters. So I want you guys to take this information with an open mind and try and execute. Take the strategies. Maybe try on a small demo account, start to learn to see these patterns in real time first so that you're able to see them without even drawing on your chart, right? When you get to that point, that is when you would want to put your money and then gradually increase your risk on those strategies and on those patterns. And our agenda for today is also to come up with a trading plan. So those of you who already have a trading plan, great. We're going to work on that a little bit today. But those who don't have a trading plan, you're screwed because there's no running, and there's no hiding right now. All right. So in this class, everyone by the end of the class should have a trading plan, and I want you to see your trading plan later, tomorrow or something, because I'm going to be after you because it's super important to have a trading plan. And I also want you guys to be brutally honest throughout the class. Because that is the only way I can help you guys. Because there are different types of traders. There are some traders who might be trading for a while and they're breaking even, right? They're just breaking even, but it's not really translating into money. Good thing, good for you guys. It's an easy problem to solve, right? It's an easy problem to solve, and that'll be great. And those who are already profitable, awesome, high five. And we're gonna try and come up with how we can help you increase your profitability a bit more. And those who are, let's say, losing traders right now, again, good news. We are going to come up with a plan. And those who are losing traders, just be totally honest, because I'm going to approach it a different way for you guys. And I'm going to be giving you a template, right? A trading plan, something to follow. And I can legally, I am not allowed to give you guarantees. But I would personally say that, if you follow that, that will be something that will get you out of losing, right? And they'll get you to the path where you're starting to break even or making a little bit money. And that's where we take our profitability a step further. Okay, so let me just draw out a little line here. All right, there you go, so that I don't miss that. Now I want you guys to throw out a 1 if you are making money currently trading over time, right? So not a winning trade, not a winning week, not a winning month. You're consistently making money. So throw out a 1 all right, and throw out a 2 if you are, breaking even, right? Breaking even or making a little bit here and there, right? You're breaking even, maybe making a little bit here and there, maybe losing a little bit here and there. Throw out a 2, all right, and throw out a 3 if you are not making it, right? And it's fine. It's a good closed environment, right? It's me and you guys. So be honest. Throw out a 3 if you're not making money, okay? And then I can get a good gauge on how I should approach the class. And don't feel shy about throwing in a 3, because I know a lot of people might be thinking, I don't want to really throw out a 3. There's so many people here. They can see my responses. The group members can see my responses. Maybe I don't want to throw out a 3. But don't think of it that way, right? We're all helping each other get to where you want to be. I'm your coach, and I want to know how you're doing. So that will be the best possible way I can help you, right? Because if you don't throw out 3s, I'm going to assume that you're making money, and I'm going to approach the class in that structure. Make sense? So keeping that in mind, give me 1 second here. Give me 1 quick second and we'll just get started. I'm just going to take a look at your responses so I can get a good gauge on how we should be approaching the class. Alright, great. So I see a lot of 1s, so people making money. I see a lot of 2s, people making a little bit, losing a little bit, breaking even type of situation. So a good mix of 1 and 2s, not many 3s. I see two 3s, and that's fine. Alright, we'll take a look at that too. So let's get started. Let's get started with the class, and let's go to the next chapter. Our agenda to success. That's basically the table of contents. All right. We're going to be covering certain setups in the class. 1 minute flash, 5 minute curl, the variations, reversal wedges, VWAP rules, red to green plays, pullback breakout. So there's a lot of stuff, right? So a lot of you guys will be like, whoa, that's quite a bit, right? That is a lot of new things, lots of new information. It's going to be a lot to take in, but not really, because these are variations of the setups that you have already learned in the PTS course, okay? So these are variations of the setups that you've already learned in PTS course. What it contains is different ways on how I approach those setups in PTS course and how I structure my trading based on the PTS course. And a lot of you might be thinking, wait a minute, how are the slides here? Well, believe it or not, I actually made some slides for today's class. Initially, I didn't have any slides. I'm terrible at PowerPoint, but I, did my best, came up with the slides. They might not be the best looking slides, but I can tell you guys it's going to be great information. And also the fact that, the fact that the class, I have no idea how long we're going to go today, okay? Because I'm teaching it for the first time, this class. It's information I've never really shared publicly before, so I have no idea how long this class is going to last. It could be 5 hours, it could be 2 hours, it could be 1 hour, it could be 30 minutes. I have no idea. I'm just going to stay on as long as it's needed. And once the class is finished, right, the class is not over, right? Once the slideshows are finished, the class is not over, because you guys can throw out any questions and also think of it as a coaching session, okay? So end of the class, you have any questions apart from, on the material or maybe on the PTS material or any other things, feel free to ask. This is like your Q&A as well, and also feel free to let me to review the trades for you, and I can bring my screen share and we can review your trades and things of that nature too. So, all right. So our class agenda, we're going to be covering all these setups, and once these setups are covered, we are going to be covering my pre-market routine. We're going to be covering how I pick my gaps, how I create my pre-market watch list, right? The right mindset you need for trading. And then we're going to end with sort of a trading plan. All right, I'm going to give you 3 different trading plans. Again, one will be for people who are, currently losing and they just want to get to either breaking even or winning, right? Another plan would be more geared towards people who are, breaking even, but they want to take their profitability to the next step. And people are already profitable, they want to make a little bit more. It's also going to be covering that. Now, The trading plans are going to be pretty much similar for all three of you guys, right? The only difference will be the way you approach your management, okay? That is what's going to be. And what I'm teaching you in this class will be exactly what I use in my own trading. I am literally keeping nothing away, right? I'm keeping nothing away. I'm going to give you exact approach that I use every single day. And all I want you guys, a little commitment from you guys, is to not share this material, okay? You guys in here, you learn the material, you watch the recordings, you do all that stuff, but don't share it with anybody, because in the end it's sort of our edge, and once you start sharing it with too many people, then it's no longer an edge. Make sense? So I want you guys commitment on, not sharing it, not talking about it. And in the room, when we talk about these setups, we will start using abbreviations, okay? We'll use abbreviations to refer to these setups, and you guys will know. So when we look at each other, we'll wink at each other because we know what we're talking about, and that's what I want to keep it at. Because as the room grows, as our community grows, also what grows is the slippage, right? And you guys notice that slippage also grows. So to keep all that away, I want you guys to learn what I teach and then execute and find your own trading ideas in the trading room. Yes, use me as an idea generation, right? Use me maybe for ideas, but try and come up with your own setup, so that way no one is going to get slippage, and we're going to continue to milk money out of the markets. All right, so that's the setup. We're going to dive straight into taking a look at 1 minute flash setup. Okay, and a little thing I want to say is that, to be honest, whatever you learned in PTS is awesome, right? It's great. That's the information that works. That's the foundation. So think of PTS as your undergraduate degrees or your master's degrees. That's PTS. This is more like a specialty course. Okay, this is more of a specialty course. Think of it this way: you studied medical school, you did your master's, which is PTS. This is like now you want to specialize into neurosurgeon. This is the specialty course, and